This is Umar for BoxNation. We're at the announcement press conference for the Magnificent 7 card. Wembley Arena, December 7th. It comes to the capital. Magnificent 7's a brilliant idea that's worked well, and I'd like to say that Aloys Jr. is part of that. But I always refer to you as Aloys Jr. I know your name is Aloys Youmbi?
Youmbi.
Youmbi. I wanted to actually understand a little bit about that name. So just tell me about that name's heritage and what it means, please, Aloys.
It's from my father's side. My father's from Cameroon, and I come from a great family, all sorts of wrestlers, athletes, strongmen, very competitive people, and that name carries a lot of weight.
So it's a fighting name.
Absolutely.
And we've seen that in the ring so far with you. You've been nothing short of dynamite, spectacular. Every time you step in the ring, you know there's guaranteed action, Aloys.
Absolutely, man. I again, as you said, I guarantee it.
And we saw as well, you need things outside the ring as well as what you deliver. And what I mean by that is a fan base, a support base. When you did headline your call, people really turned out for you that night.
Yeah, a lot of my supporters, whether they're from Britain, Cameroon, I have support from all places, thankfully.
It was loud in there, and I'm sure it'll be louder again, Wembley Arena, when you're in the ring. Lewis Oakford, know much about him, Aloys?
Yeah, a little bit about him. He beat Dubois Miller very recently for the Commonwealth Silver, and he put a decent performance up, He has a good jab, good movement, and he has an awkward style.
Okay. Well, I think that's what you need, probably someone that's going to be a little bit tricky. But we'll see how many rounds he gives you.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see how many rounds we give him. But he likes to have a tear-up sometimes. So if he wants to have a tear-up, it's lights up for him already,
It's a dangerous game against you, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Russian roulette.
Roll the dice sort of thing.
Exactly. Roll that dice.
Where does this power come from? Is it something that's God-given, natural, or is it something that you've worked on for many years? Tell me about it.
It's both. It's nature and nurture as well. I've worked very, very hard to work on my explosiveness, and also I've been blessed by God, And it just expresses itself in the gym. It expresses itself in the ring as well. I don't even think when I go in there, I just let my arms do the talking, let my arms flow, and bang, someone's on the floor.
Ben Davis has, been very honest about your power, and he's had many, many elite fighters in his short career, actually, as a trainer, with Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, Fabio Wardley, Lee Wood. I could go on, and he said you are the hardest that he's had on the pad. So that is some compliment to yourself.
Yes, it is a great compliment, but again, I stay level-headed. Like, I don't try to overthink that. I don't rely on power. That power is the last thing I ever rely on. Yeah, I try to look at it from a skill perspective, because power is natural, but skills, you have to work diligently on them, and I do that.
With Ben Davis and Lee Wiley, where do you think you've improved most since joining that gym in terms of your different skills?
There's so much that to specify one thing would be very, very hard.
Let me ask it in a different way. Have you noticed one thing maybe that's vastly improved since you joined that gym?
I could say my knockouts. Definitely. If we're going to go off like stats and etc., I'd say my knockouts went skyrocket. They skyrocketed through the roof. I'm getting in the ring with people, especially in the earlier start or earlier part of me joining the Ben Davison gym. Yeah, people started to get laid out, and just sparring was crazy. Very crazy. Just small things, small little tips he used to tell me to do. And because I'm very explosive, when I apply these things and they work, oh my goodness, it's like dynamite.
When you do spar, is it always at the same intensity as it would be when you're in a ring? How do you take that?
Nowadays, I have a complete different perspective from when I first joined. So I always used to spar like I'm trying to kill someone. But as time goes on and you get older, you get more experience, you realize that that's futile, because that's all ego, really and truly. And I don't need to do that. Sparring is work. We work on certain things. And if I hurt you, I'll take a step back. Are you okay, bro? And then we go back to work.
Where does Aloys Youmbi see himself at this point next year, end of 2025? What do you want to have achieved in the cruiserweight division?
That's a great question. If I'm totally being honest, I don't know. Right now, it's just step by step. I don't try to. It's very easy to get disheartened when you look all the way at the mountain and think, "Oh my goodness, the mountain's so far away." But when you just watch each step, step by step, eventually you'll be at the mountain. Don't look up. Just keep going. Keep your head down. Keep focused.
But ultimately, I know why you're in this sport. You want to be a world champion.
Absolutely, all-time great.
There you go. Is the traditional route, because to some fighters it's important, to some it's not really, of doing the Southern area, English, British, Commonwealth, European, and then world honours. Do you want to take it that route, or are you not bothered?
I'm not too bothered about the traditional route. The traditional route is good, but whatever works for you works for you. You know, not everyone goes through the same journey. Everyone has a different journey. So the traditional route is overall good, is all well, but I don't see myself doing the traditional route.
What about one belt in particular that I named there, the British title? Because that is a significant belt that even if people aren't too fussed by the traditional route, the British title is something that a lot of people want to win.
No, absolutely. I do definitely want to win a British title one. When I have the opportunity to fight for it, bang, I'm there for it. It has to make sense. It just has to make sense.
Well, I know a fight that would have made sense and potentially still can make sense is you and Tommy for the British title. That would have been something that made sense for yourself, him, Frank Warren, everyone. That might have taken a step backwards with Tommy's loss the other night. I spoke to you straight after it as well. But in your mind, if he can get a few wins under his belt and come back from that, that could potentially still be a fight, you and Tommy?
Yeah, absolutely. I believe Tommy Fletcher's 22. I think, a year older than me. And he can still come back. We're still young, man. He's literally a baby in the sport, likewise with myself. And of course he can come back. And that fight could be also a great fight. He just needs to be dedicated and work hard in the gym.
And then once you've achieved your cruiserweight dreams, which is a couple of years away yet, maybe longer, we know the money division is the heavyweight division. You sparred many heavyweights, done many rounds with top heavyweights. So you're going to be at heavyweight one day, aren't you?
Absolutely.
That will be an exciting prospect.
Exactly. But again, as I said before, one step at a time.
Can you just tell me some of the top heavyweights, though, that you have sparred in your time as a pro?
Daniel Dubois. Who else can I think of? I can't even remember.
AJ?
All of them. I've done some work with AJ, but not full-fledged, but some work with AJ.
Joe Joyce?
No, I haven't sparred Joe Joyce.
Fabio
Woodley. TKV.
Moses.
James. Moses Atuma. Thank you very much.
But that would be pay-per-view, you and Moses, your spars.
Literally, we used to go at it. Yeah, man. Moses is a good friend of mine, and he's a good person. And also in the ring, he's a great fighter as well. So me and him, when we used to go in the ring, we used to go at it. I want to be the best as much as he wants to be the best.
I know you'd have spent plenty of time around AJ at Ben's gym, etc. And I'm sure you were expecting him perhaps to win against Daniel Dubois. But having sparred Daniel, a lot of people tell me about Daniel's jab. It's like a backhand. It's so powerful. I'm sure you weren't overly surprised by what happened then, considering you've done some rounds with Daniel.
Great question. I expected, obviously, Joshua to win due to the game plan. But, again, Daniel Dubois is a world-class heavyweight. He's young, he's ambitious, he's driven. So, again, at this weight, there's very small room for error.
How powerful is he, Daniel? Very,
very powerful. Like, his jab is very hard. Very, very hard, let alone his backhand. I've never been caught by his backhand, by the way. So, I'm thankful that I didn't experience that. But the jab was very, very hard.
Listen, Aloys, appreciate your time. Best of luck in camp.
Appreciate it.
I know you, Ben and Lee are going to put in hours and hours of work, as you always do, before December 7th, and we'll see you on Fight Week.
Absolutely.
God bless.